Hey, this is Kurt Roscoe with Stone Glacier. I'm going to take you through some of the design features of the Chilkoot 32-degree quilt. The 32-degree quilt uses many of the same fabrics and construction methods that we use in our 0-degree bag and our 15-degree bag. This is a very lightweight and packable option for early to mid-season hunts. The exterior fabric is a 15 denier Pertex Quantum shell. We also use that for the interior. This shell is very water resistant and wind resistant. For the insulation, we're using 850 plus fill power Hyper Dry Down. Hyper Dry Down is a hydrophobic treated down designed to work in damp, wet conditions. The quilt has a 16-inch articulated footbox. Articulation comes in the patterning to create space for your feet and your toes up on top. The cut of the pattern is differential in that the inner pattern is smaller than the exterior pattern so that you maintain the loft of the down even when your foot comes in contact with the side of the inner liner. As we move up through the bag, same concept through the shoulders, articulated cut on the shoulders where the patterns wrap around underneath. Also a differential cut, so when your shoulders come in contact with one side or the other, you don't compress it down and get cold spots. As we move up to the draft collar, also down filled, it has a magnetic closure, elastic band on the inside, and on the back side you have a snap closure. So in warmer conditions you can just use the snap closure, leave the magnetic open and get more draft. On the bottom of the quilt we have 4 elastic straps, and these serve 2 different functions. The first function are these 2 straps have longer elastic loops, and these loops can be positioned over the sleeping pad to keep the quilt centered on the pad. The second function is to vary the width of the opening. So in cooler conditions you can loosen it up to create more draft. In colder conditions you can close it all the way down. These straps can also be disconnected and the quilt can be folded open and used more like a standard flat quilt. The quilt fits a person up to 6 foot 5 inches tall. The weight is 1 pound 6.6 ounces. The temp rating is down to 32 degrees. But be aware that the comfort of your overall sleep system is going to be influenced by the sleeping pad that you have under it. You're going to be sleeping directly on the sleeping pad, so select a pad that has adequate R rating for the temperatures that you expect. The quilt comes with a storage sack and a stuff sack. However, we suggest if you want the smallest volume possible to use a 6-liter extra small compression sack. Now we're going to take you through installation onto a sleeping pad. On the bottom side of the quilt there are 4 elastic straps, and these straps serve 2 different functions. The first function is to adjust the width of the opening so you can have it closer when there are cooler conditions to reduce draft, or open them up in warmer conditions to get more airflow. So one of the first things that we're going to do is we are going to set the 2 straps without a loop. We're going to set these for colder conditions. So I'm going to tighten that up, close up the gap, and we have that set. Now the next step is you have 2 loops. These loops are going to go around your sleeping pad. So you want to adjust this loop using the tri-slide on top to the approximate diameter of your sleeping pad. So I've already set these. Then we're going to take the quilt, roll it onto the sleeping pad, fold it back. We have our loop. Now we can run our loop around the pad. You can move it down to the position that you want. So when you fold it back, your head's still going to be on the pad. We're going to move to the bottom, grab our other loop, go around the end. And then you can adjust it so your 2 buckles are in the center. Now you can adjust these 2 buckles depending on what type of airflow that you want. In cooler conditions, you can slide these closer together on the strap, close the gap up, or in cooler conditions, you can open it up. Go back to the top. I'm going to move this just a little bit. Same thing here, you can grab the strap, center it on the bag. We're going to close this up just a little bit. And now we have the gap on the bottom set for cooler conditions. To get into the quilt, we suggest opening the top strap. And now you can climb in just like a sleeping bag. Once you're in, you can reach around your back, close the clip. And once you lay down, you have the option of using the snap on the back of the neck and also the magnetic closure if you want to close off the draft. If you have any questions about fit, function, or installing the quilt, please give us a call here at the shop.